Hey guys, welcome back to the Music Hole. My name is Cole, and I'm very excited today to travel back to 2004 to talk about the self-titled final album by UK band The Libertines. And it's a really fun album. It was produced to sound like a live concert, and you can really hear it. It's just very energetic. There's a lot of momentum. It's just a blast. So I'm very excited to talk about it. So let's dive in to track number 1, which is called Can't Stand Me Now.
Ending fitting for the start, you twisting tore our love apart. Your light fingers through the dark shattered the lamp into darkness it cast us out. No, you've got it the wrong way round. You shut me up and blamed it on the brown. Cornered the boy, kicked out of the world kicked back a lot fucking harder now. If you wanna try, there's no worse you could do. I know you lie, I'm still in love with you. Can't take me anywhere, I'll take you anywhere. You can't take me anywhere, I can't take you anywhere. I'll take you anywhere you wanna go. Oh, you can't stand me, no, you can't stand me, no. You can't stand me, no, you can't stand me, no. You can't stand me, no, you can't stand me, no. You can't stand me, no.
Yeah, I really love this song because basically not only is it a breakup song between the two singers, Pete and Carl, but it's also a tale about their friendship and their love for each other and how, because of their love for each other, they joined together musically and had this great chemistry, which resulted in, a couple really wonderful albums, this one being my favorite. But essentially, at the end of the day, Pete was just totally addicted to heroin, or the brown, as they put it, and it just completely ruined their friendship. But the thing is, it's interesting how it always seems like drama and tension more or less results in really interesting music. Like, for example, with The Police, where you had Sting and Stuart Copeland, and I forgot the third guy's name, forgive me. But, they were very famously at odds with each other, except musically, where they were just amazingly coordinated. They had a lot of chemistry. And so The Police obviously made a lot of great music. So kind of like The Police, the Libertines managed to make some really interesting early 2000s garage rock. Even though they were together and they loved each other, but they kind of couldn't stand each other, right? Can't Stand Me Now being the name of the song. So it's interesting to hear a little bit about, how much they both mean to each other, even though at the end of the day, they got to draw the line somewhere. And Carl drew it with his drug abuse, with Peter's drug abuse. So anyway, I really like this song. It's a great beginning to the album. But let's move on to track 2, which is called Last Post on the Bugle.
If I have to go, I will be thinking of your love, or somehow I'm thinking of your love. Slightly they whispered away as I played the last post on the bugle. I heard him say, oh, that boy's no different today, except in every single way. If I have to go, I will be thinking of your love, or somehow you just know I'm thinking of your love. I was carried away.
So I really like this song because it's basically from the perspective of Pete, where he knows that he's got a problem, that he's got to leave the band because he's ruining everybody else's career in the band. But he loves them. He loves the chemistry they had. He loves them as friends. And even though he's leaving, and even though everybody's talking behind his back saying how, oh, he's just the same old heroin addict today as he was yesterday, he's never going to change. In his mind, he knows all of the little things he's doing better every single day. They may not be like big things, but they might be small changes. And so from his perspective, he's starting to get better, even just a little bit, even though everybody in his life is just looking at him like he's a complete lost cause. So poor Pete on this song, he recognizes that he has a problem, which is the most important step. And he's leaving the band, which he knows he has to do, but he loves he doesn't have any ill will towards his bandmates. He loves them, right? He's thinking of their love, as he says. So he's kind of hoping and wishing one day he'll get better so he can maybe reunite with them and make more music together. So I love this song. It's a wonderful message, and I appreciate the take on Pete's perspective. But anyway, so let's move on to track 3, which is called Don't Be Shy.
Don't be shy, don't be shy. For if you are shy for tomorrow, you'll be shy for 1,000 days. Don't be shy, don't be shy. Don't let the tide of your soul drown your nights and flood your days. But still, it's very shy. Sweet drunk and old queen is always got to get in way. But don't be coy with me, I'm too clever to follow you down into the darkest of the weather. Blackest one now, so what's your pleasure? Swallow your pride, but please don't be shy. Don't be shy. Shy for tomorrow, you'll be shy for 1,000 days. Oh, now it's your time to shine. Dance, let me hear your song. Or you may wake up one day in the last chance, selling to find your last chance. Spill and come, don't be shy. Don't be shy.
Yeah, I really, really like this song, and especially the message, which is essentially, it's about the fact that if you want to improve your life, you got to start today, not tomorrow, you know, because if you keep saying to yourself, oh, well, you know, even if it's something small, like, oh, well, I'm going to clean my room tomorrow. Like, I don't want to do it today. I'll just do it tomorrow, right? I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll do it tomorrow. Well, you're probably going to wake up tomorrow and put it off to the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day, and as he says on the song, you know, if you're shy for tomorrow, you'll be shy for 1,000 days. So that's kind of just a metaphor for, you know, don't put anything off that needs to change. Do it today. Do it right now. Do it as soon as you can. And it's basically, the song is basically a metaphor, in my opinion, for Pete's rehabilitation as a drug addict, where he's probably tempted to say, like, oh, I'll just do my one last hit today, and then tomorrow I'll quit. I'll go cold turkey or whatever. Well, no, that's not how it works. You know, there's no last hurrah. There's just, you got to do it right now, or you don't do it at all. So if you put yourself in that mind frame, you can get a lot of stuff done, no matter what it is. Just, you know, there's that Dylan Francis song I've been addicted to lately, which I recommend, where basically he's like, ain't nothing to it but to do it. So that's this song in a nutshell. Just, there ain't nothing to it, man. Just do it. Don't put it off. So anyway, that's Don't Be Shy. It's a really cool song. But let's move along to track 5, which is called Music When the Lights Go Out.
Is it cruel or kind not to speak my mind and to lie to you rather than hurt you? Well, I'll confess all of my sins after several large gins, but still I'll hide from you, hide what's inside from you. And alarm bells ring when you say your heart still sings when you're with me. Oh, won't you please forgive me, I no longer hear the music. Oh no. And all the memories of the pubs and the clubs and the drugs and the tubs we shared together will stay with me forever. But all the highs and the lows and the twos and the fro's, they left me dizzy. Oh, won't you please forgive me, I no longer hear the music.
Yeah, this is always a tough part of any relationship where basically, you've been together for a really long time, but one of the two people is no longer hearing the music, as he puts it, right? So they're living basically on the memories of all the good times they had with their partner. But, right now in the present, they don't really love them that much. They're just kind of there. They're just kind of present. They're comfortable, but they're not in love with them. And yet the other person, their partner, is still in love with them, because he says that her heart sings, her heart still sings when she's with him. But from his perspective, it's the complete opposite. And he's lying to her. He's been lying to her about it for a while now, as he says, and he's wondering, is it cruel of me to pretend like I'm still in love with you, or should I just get it all out and tell her exactly how I feel and end the relationship? What should he do? Because on one hand, maybe he's asking himself, is this something that happens to every relationship where you've got this finite period of time where you're both totally in love with each other, and then after that, it's normal for you guys to just be like comfortable? You know what I mean? Like you've got the honeymoon period at the beginning, and then for the rest of your life, it's just kind of like, yeah, you're comfortable together and you're friends, and maybe you're not super romantic anymore, but you still enjoy the other person and you want to spend your life with them. You're just not in love with them. So it's a really delicate situation because it sounds like he's thinking about leaving her, but on the other hand, maybe he's also wondering, is this how it's going to be with every girl? Am I going to get to this point with every girlfriend, or do I really not like her anymore? So this poor woman, she has no idea. But anyway, so let's move along to track number 6, which is called Narcissist.
Professionally trendy in a global platinum zone. There's life after work, and it can be such fun. It's the AM model, and magazines are on the walls. They wanna be just like them, cause they're so cool. They're just narcissists. Oh, wouldn't it be nice to be Dorian Gray? Every day, they're just narcissists. Oh, it's so great to be Dorian Gray every day. Living in a looking glass as the beauty of life goes by. You're going to be so old. You're going to grow so old. Your skin's so cold and it's just narcissists. Well, wouldn't it be nice to be Dorian Gray?
I really like the message of this song philosophically, because basically he's looking at some pictures of beautiful people who work out and they look great, and on the surface level he's admiring them. He's like, man, I wish I was this guy. He's so ripped and he looks great, he's so handsome, blah blah blah. But he's thinking about it a little more deeply, and he's realizing that you can't just take the good things when it comes to swapping places with somebody. You can't just be like, oh, I wish I was Donald Trump because he's a billionaire and he's the president. You can't just take the good stuff and then ignore the fact that he's also a total narcissist. So like, in other words, when you admire people, also realize that they're not perfect, that if you were to swap places with them, that you would get the good stuff, like a great body and looking handsome, but you'd also get their demons, like maybe they're a bad person, or they have mental health problems, or their girlfriend's abusive, or whatever it is. So he's trying to be realistic. He's looking at people who have certain things in their life that he, is basically jealous of. But he's trying to remember that, yes, even though someone might be a millionaire, he might also hate his life. So swapping places with him includes, having the $1 million, but then also hating your life, if that makes sense. So I like where he's going here. It's pretty deep. But anyway, let's move along to track number 9, which is called Campaign of Hate.
There's a campaign of hate that's waiting at the school gates. Not for what I am aware. It must be what you wrote, what you write when you swore that you'd swear to remember why you kids dressing like they're poor. Oh my god. White kids talking like they're black. I tried it with Shawty and I spent 3 days on my back. Oh, she said, baby, I like the cut of your J.I.B. Oh, don't believe them when they say that you don't get nothing for free. It's over for the now.
So the part that really interests me about this song in particular is how he's talking about how so many people try to be like other people. Like you've got the white kids talking like they're black, as he says. You've got the rich kids buying the torn, ripped up jeans and shirts, trying to look poor. You got the poor kids, you know, trying to look rich by having, you know, nice sneakers and nice clothes and things like that. And he's just looking at all these people and he's just like, nobody's happy to be themselves. Nobody is excited to be themselves, right? Everybody is trying to be like somebody else in the sense of like, think about this for a moment, you know, basically you are aware of all of your faults. So you know everything about you that annoys you, like maybe the way you talk, or maybe your eye is kind of lazy at times, like mine is. You know, if I look a certain way, I get a lazy eye. You know, there's stuff about you that you don't like, but there's stuff about other people that you really like. And, you know, you think there's something wrong with you. So in order to improve yourself and to not have something wrong with you, you copy the success of other people, right? So you have everybody in this town, as he's talking about, who's trying to not be themselves because they're not proud of themselves. It's kind of what it sounds like, you know. And it takes a lot of courage to just be you, even if being you might end up meaning that you're alone a lot of the time, that you may not make a lot of friends. So that's what this song means to me, is just be yourself. It's okay if you don't have a million friends or followers or subscribers or whatever. You know, stop trying to copy other people. I can get behind that because I have that problem as well. You know, I'm not perfect either. But anyway, so let's move along to track number, I forget which one. Track number 10, which is called What Katie Did.
What you gonna do, Katie? You're a sweet, sweet girl, but it's a cruel, cruel world, a cruel, cruel world. My pins are none too strong, Katie. Hurry up, Mrs. Brown. I can feel it coming down and it won't take none too long. But since you said goodbye, the polka dots fill my eyes, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, poor Katie on this song is just in a complete bind because basically it sounds like she left Pete, the main character of this song, because he was totally addicted to heroin, but she was reining him in a little bit while they were together, right? It was thanks to her that maybe he wasn't going completely overboard on it, but he was still doing drugs. And I say poor Katie because basically she doesn't want to be with this guy because he's, you know, a heroin addict, and she probably gave him a bunch of ultimatums and he failed all of them. So there's this impossible situation with her where she doesn't want to stay with the drug addict, but she knows if she leaves this guy, that Pete is going to do even more drugs and he's going to spiral down, you know, like way faster than if she were to stay with him. So basically, she has to make the tough call at some point, which she finally did, to, you know, leave this guy who she knows is going to just continue to ruin his life even more when she's gone. So poor Katie, right? She can't win. If she stays with this guy, he's going to be a drug addict. And if she leaves this guy, he's going to be even more of a drug addict and he'll probably die. So that's what this song means to me, is it's about a person in an impossible situation. And like, what the heck do you do? Like you literally can't win. Doesn't matter what you do. So poor Katie. But anyway, let's move along to the last track I have for this album, which is track 13. It's called Road to Ruin.
How can we make you understand? All you can be is given in your hands. Oh, you won't need money. Trust in me. Take me by the hand. Oh, give us a chance. Dreams are strewn across the sand. You won't need money. But all the bent back ballers, the jugglers and fools, they drive me crazy, I'm climbing the walls. So show me the way to the stool. 'Cause I'm so sick of it all. When the penny drops, trust in me.
Yeah, I mean, the song does a great job highlighting just how powerful addiction is for a drug addict. I mean, basically, the song is about Carl talking to Peter, telling him, like, if you just trust in me and go to rehab and, you know, continue with the band, I mean, you're going to be famous and successful and you're going to go places. Like, you've got a future with your life if you just, you know, quit the drugs. I mean, geez Louise. But basically, right, that's not how it goes. It's not easy to just quit any kind of intense drug addiction. Like, it takes a real effort. You've got to admit that you've got a problem. Then you've got to have the support. And, you know, you've got to have the ability to go to rehab. And you've got to have a lot of support with friends and family. But even with support, you know, because Carl is saying, like, I'll be here with you to help you through it. Just, you got to start doing it, or else I'm going to have to make you leave the band and we're going to have to break up. So basically, poor Pete, you know, there's just, even with all of the support being offered to him, he just can't do it. You know, and it's just the story of pretty much every drug addict or alcoholic ever, where it doesn't really matter necessarily how much support is given to you. If you aren't willing to do it mentally and emotionally and psychologically, then it doesn't matter if, you know, if someone gives you like $1 million for rehab or something crazy like that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if your friends and family will, you know, allow you to sleep on their couch. You know, it has to come from you. You have to want to do it. If you don't want to get better, then it doesn't matter. Then everything else doesn't matter. You're going to keep doing drugs. You're going to keep drinking alcohol. So that's what this song means to me. It's basically, you know, a real depiction of what it's like to try to help somebody who doesn't want to be helped, essentially. But anyway, so that's the album. That's the Libertines self-titled. Again, the production quality is just amazing on it, in my opinion. It's just such a fun, energetic, kind of live concert type of feel. It's just a blast to listen to from front to back. So hopefully you guys thought it was interesting. Hopefully you enjoy it. You know, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It would really help me out. But yeah, that's the Libertines for you. Check them out and have a good one.